That's impossible.
Hey, girl.
You look just like your mother.
I promise you, I am gonna get her back.
Mamoudou, how are you doing today?
Rory, what up, man?
How are you?
I don't know. You seem very familiar to me. I don't think we've actually met before, but I feel like I know you. Don't know. So
We're immediately best friends, and I'm okay with that.
I
That's
hope
okay.
so. Yeah. Yeah.
Congratulations on the movie, first of all. It is such a huge, huge project. So I'm curious, what was your very first day on set like for this?
So I was working with Sam and Laura, and I was transported back to my childhood. I was like, this is crazy. I just didn't. It again, like they're so cool, they're so friendly, they're so lovely, and they're such great actors. But because it's so deep in my brain, like seeing them as these characters, to work opposite them in this world was mind blowing. But yeah, we had a lot of laughs, good time.
Yeah, like I was like Jurassic Park was my Star Wars back in the day. That was the film that kind of was, I was like, oh my God, I love cinema so much. So
That's
every
so
time,
cool.
yeah, like when I seen them back in this and I seen them like neither of them look like they've aged a day and they both just slipped right back into it. I was like, that's fantastic. And for
Awesome.
yourself to act across them, that's incredible as well.
Yeah, it was. It really was, yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Yourself and Campbell Scott in this have a very interesting relationship. I was
Yeah.
curious, was there some notes given to yourselves? Because I was like filling in blanks myself. I was like, I wonder what's going on there. There's a very particular energy between
What are
you
you
both.
thinking? No, well, to go a little bit deeper into that, I'm very curious what you're thinking.
Well, okay. So I
Go
was
for it.
because initially Campbell's like he's like a younger version of me, and I was like, was this were you like a younger version of him somehow? And then later on, there was a very close
No.
conversation between you both, and I was curious, was there anything for you both in this? Were you given notes, I guess, as to your particular character's relationship? Because the energy was specific, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like you're holding back a little bit. Dang,
No,
I really wanna know.
I'm leaving it all on. It's for you to fill in, I guess.
Definitely not a Campbell Scott clone. That will make me laugh for the rest of the year, though. So I appreciate you. Thank you.
Okay.
No, there was I think Campbell, from events prior to the movie, changes. Well, I mean, you saw him in the first movie. I think he presents a kind of a hopeful, idealistic image to a lot of the young. There's so many young people working at Bias, and he wants it to be like a think tank with like a lot of idealists and forward thinkers. But he's really just a uber capitalist who's in it for profit. And as Ramsey discovers this, he makes decisions based on that. To just to protect the company's ethos. I
That's
really
very
had to stop myself. I really had to stop myself. I'm about to spoil the movie, but yeah.
No, I appreciate you tiptoeing around that particular aspect of the story's plot.
Sure.
Mamoudou, I literally could talk to you about Jurassic Park and Jurassic World in this movie for hours, but our time has run out. Thank you so
That's a
much
bummer.
for your
I'm
time
so
today.
bummed
Yeah.
out by that. That's
Well,
so sad to me. I'd really love to hear what else you're thinking, man. Oh man.
yeah. Well, since we're best friends now, like we could talk another
Yeah,
time.
hit me up. Hit me after. Yeah.
DeWanda, how are you doing today?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm really, really good. Such a pleasure to talk to you. Okay, Jurassic World Dominion is huge. It's a huge, huge, huge movie.
It's so big.
What was your first day on set like?
My first day on set was nerve-wracking. I will tell you something I haven't told anyone else yet, because that's my
Great.
favorite thing to do. I'm like, oh yeah, that happened. First day on set was really nerve-wracking. I'm like new kid on the block, and I'm like messing up big time, probably. Who knows? Who knows? Colin might disagree, but I'm like freaking out in my head. trying to like execute all this stuff that's very technical. And at one point, at one point, Chris Pratt turns to me and he goes, with that way that's kind of like, hey, kid. He was like, oh, how long have you been doing this? And I was like, 20 years. 20 years, And then the next day it was like, I know he was just kind of like, oh, okay, I shouldn't include high school. When I said 20 years, it's way too dramatic. Like the high school plays don't count. You know what I mean? Like the high school plays don't count. But by the next day, he was like calling me by my government name. And I was like, oh, he Googled me because I was so obnoxious yesterday.
So that was your first day.
Nerve-wracking.
Fantastic. Well, it was all uphill after that. So
it
worked out.
It worked out. Everything's fine.
Okay, so they put your character in this, I think, maybe in more action sequences than just about anyone else. You've got, I don't want to spoil anything. You've got a car chase.
Yeah.
You've got a plane crash. This is all in the trailer, so I think we're good.
Yeah.
You've got an ice-bound dinosaur fight.
Absolutely.
And you've got everything in the third act that I'm not going to get into.
There, yeah, well done.
What was, without spoilers again, what was your favorite scene to work on? What was the one that when you read it in the script, you're like, oh, this is going to be fun?
Man, probably the plane work. I just thought that that action sequence, to your point, was like, I think, what did Pratt say? He said it's like 12 to 14 minutes long. It's just a really long action sequence. It's like, we're moving from Malta through the streets into the plane kind of thing. But probably the plane, because it was like, that's the first time we're already in Kayla's world in Malta, or like, in the underground dino set. But once you get in that plane, that's like all her world. You know what I mean? And to be working with both Chris and Bryson for Pratt as Owen in that moment to kind of like lend over status, it was just so fun. It was just a lot of fun as an actor and as a character to like take command of that space, and to be like, I got it. Don't worry about it, So yeah, we had a ton of fun on that one.
And just one final question, if that's okay. 30 years ago, I guess, Jurassic Park, B.D. Wong had such a small role in that movie, and it has expanded out into what we see now in the Jurassic World series. So if we look forward 50 years into your acting future, I guess at that point, because it's 20 already, plus 30 in the future.
Thank you for
including the high school plays and stuff. Yeah. Your character in this could be expanded into a potential part of something in the future. Is that something you would be, excited about doing? Who knows when? Some day down the road.
I think that would be really cool. I think, as a character, as both constructed, and, all the work that we've done, like building her out, it's the world you want to jump into. I hope, let me not be presumptuous, but I hope she's someone who people want to learn more about, and I would love to explore it too, for sure.
What was the energy like on set when everyone came together? Like when you've got Sam, Laura, Jeff, Chris, Bryce, like it's generations of fantastic acting. Like that must have been something special to be on set for that
It was
day.
special, and it was extra special because by the time we got there, we shot the last third of the movie, the very final couple of like weeks, the final month of filming. So by then we were all legitimately family. It's very fast and furious of me to say, but we were all legitimately like, I've babysat your kids, you know what I mean? Like, we've had multiple meals together. We spent 5 months together. So, by the time we got to that, there was a level of like trust and, like egolessness, and just everyone was just radically present and there for each other in a way that was probably very atypical of having so many stars in one movie.
Fantastic. DeWanda, thank you so much for your time today. It was an absolute pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you, likewise.
What is that?
Biggest carnivore the world has ever seen.
Run!
See? Not so bad.